and a lot of them, including my coworker and a friend as well. We lost, and many, like almost every group of people lost someone during the revolution. So they know how it felt, and definitely. So after that, the gym itself, kind of, I would say, really grew, leading to the epidemic of the COVID era, but it had a lot to do with that. It had a lot to do with the whole transition and then into the journey to Kenya, and it played a huge role in the development of jiu-jitsu and martial arts in general in Sudan. Main thing right now, in particular in Sudan and in Africa in general, I've always looked at it that way. The biggest issue that guys face, young people face, is, opportunities, employment. People don't have a way to make an income, make a living. And my goal is to provide, through martial arts, study, jobs, study, even careers for those who like to take it professional, to just get by. The struggle is hard there. Everyone, 90% of the people live from day to day. That's the reality. So I've been trying to do that. That is my ultimate goal for it, of course, to grow. So far, we've been doing great. We have a good number of, most of all the blue belts are trainers. They all get paid for teaching, kids programs, foundation level. Even martial artists, we created a small security company that only these fighters have the opportunity to basically secure small programs, knowing from their expertise, basically jiu-jitsu, to control the situation and so on. Of course, the events, most of our fighters, even though they're amateur, they do get paid. So part of when we talk to the sponsors, there's a complete budget for fighters to be paid. And first our events were free, but now they reached a point that we have a fare, we have a ticket, we get good sponsors. The last event we had, Ethiopian Airlines, we get, good stuff. Because we play the publicity part well, work hard to try to push, show up on TV channels. I work at a radio station, and of course, it's mainly tied to promote this. And I have the biggest sport, but mainly, just living that healthy lifestyle kind of perspective. More diets, more, exercises, home workouts, and definitely pushing the spotlight on local talent and local athletes, and mainly in martial arts, particularly what we do, which is Muay Thai, MMA, and Jiu-Jitsu. So far, it's been doing good. So a lot of individuals right now. I have 3 guys who graduated university, started with me as students, and now this is all they do. They it's basically you get this job, did that, they teach a little bit, they do personal training, these things, and they make a living. Like you tell them, you go look for a job in your career, it's like 90% of these people graduated at the university and they don't have jobs. So there's no need even to look. Like, I'm comfortable now, and I still get to train and do these things. So my goal, hopefully soon, that this just could grow. Instead of it being, I have at the moment 12 individuals that work in this particular program. For this just to continue to grow and become bigger and reach further, individuals around the country. We also I've been pushing with the new government hard with new policies to push jiu-jitsu in the school system. And that has been coming along. A lot of meetings and showing up in paperwork. But I think there's steps. It's very slow, but we're getting there. And so hopefully in the next few years, we'll hope that could become something. And maybe these guys will have real steady jobs to show up at these schools and teach Ashki Jiu-Jitsu. So that is part of our goals as well. Our Sudan has one of the worst economies at the moment. I think it's inflation, it's called the word. We're always having an issue with the dollar. Our price keeps going, the dollar keeps going up and down. But in general, right now, the monthly fee is around $20, I believe. About $20, depending on where the dollar is, sometimes less, sometimes more. But about $20, and that's actually like the full package, and there's much less. Like down to 2 days a week, it's probably close to $12 a month. And these are just a lot more options we try to get to the people, just to, we know the people's situation, and at least you could just train, you could find something. We don't make it flat that if you don't have it, it is what it is. But yeah, it always has been a challenge. A lot of people really just can't afford this. But we try to keep out an eye for that. And if someone is really dedicated and is showing up and putting in the effort, we try to find a way around it. I don't believe in free stuff. I'll find something. I'll get you a mop. I'm gonna do something. You gotta put in some type of work for me to get you something. There's nothing free. Sadly, that's not really part of the culture. These are the challenges a lot we face, because most people are not raised that way, even though they don't have, but the unemployment has been so hard on people that they got used to not working, and they get around by, just getting some here, helping each other out here and there, and they make it through. And so to force people that, if you want this, you gotta do this for it, and that's been a little challenge to the people themselves. But a lot of those who are really serious came around, and they find it, and you tell them, I did it. I had a time coming up here, training. I had to, clean up toilets to train. I didn't have a job, right? So I'm actually happy that, and blessed, I feel, that I had the opportunity, or was actually given the opportunity by my coach at the time, knowing how much hours I've been on the mat, and if I can't show up, then there's a real serious matter. If it's financial, I'll give you that opportunity. I never looked at it like, why am I doing this, or I don't need that. And if I didn't really actually continue to train, I probably wouldn't be here today, right? So, yeah, this is kind of how it is, and it's a little challenging for a lot of people, because again, like I mentioned, most people live day by day, right? And martial art is not a priority, right? So even if you have some type of budget, you're gonna look for a lot of things you need to pay off before paying off your training. So this is part of the challenges from the people and from the school. It's just, we can't chase everybody. We have a good number of members, but it's hard to chase everyone, even knowing the circumstances and knowing the situation. And it's just a lot in that perspective. But yeah, it's getting better, I would say. In the beginning, the challenges were much tougher. The people really didn't understand how important this is, and it was just, they wouldn't even put the money, even if they had it, into this. They try to get free stuff as much as they can. Back with the ladies, let's take it a little back before the ladies only, right? So from the day one, I grew up in Sudan, and I know, like, young men don't get the opportunities. So young ladies definitely don't get anything. Like, that's just how it is. Like, they get what's left over, okay? And cultural perspective, sports in general, that's not where a woman belongs, okay? So from day one, when I started the gym, I knew that the opportunity that girls could get the opportunity to train, at least self-defense perspective, had to happen. At the time, with the past regime, it was actually illegal for a guy to actually teach women in that particular perspective. So I was looking for a female trainer for almost 2 years, and I had my own standards of what a trainer. So far, everyone that teaches at Muqatil, it's basically went through my personal program that I developed through Suicide. Then I also went through a program with Coach Nakapan, and then went through the same process. I learned how. I started even teaching Muay Thai here at Beta before I actually went. I was an assistant coach for a while, for months. So I picked up all the basics of how to be a trainer, how to work with customer service, how to fix mistakes, how to, the right way to do things. And that's something mixed till today, the huge difference between us and the rest of the martial arts community in Sudan is how we deal with people in general. So anyone that bring off, even if you're a black belt in something or had all these fights, a lot of boxers there want to come and teach. It's just their energy I wasn't really about. So most of my guys and girls today have went through the process that I created at the moment. And so eventually, by going back to the ladies program, we started teaching ladies, me and one of my guys. We will basically demonstrate on ourselves, and they'll do the things. And we started Muay Thai only. and we basically opened the door. It was under the table, so no one had to, we couldn't actually be public, so it was nothing on social media at the time. But basically we told any lady who doesn't have a problem to train with guys, being a trainers, they're welcome to come and learn. We'll give you that opportunity. And we had a good number of young girls come and train, and eventually even one of those, this program started, I believe, in 2017. And even one of them, one of these young ladies till today she's here, she's one of the lead Muay Thai trainers right now that stuck around that long. So we started that eventually until we had individuals that would qualify. Of course, after the country changed, it wasn't, we didn't have to worry about the specific parts of like, we're gonna get arrested if they know we're doing this. But we kept. After the country changed, after Nairobi opened, I knew that jiu-jitsu had to happen now. Well, we knew at least we won't have to worry about, closing our doors, and we could open, put it up on social media and stuff. So we started the program, and at the time it was myself and also one of my blue belts, and we would demonstrate and do the class, and it was the only girls class, but we were the guys basically. But the number was very limited. Just the idea of jiu-jitsu being on the ground, again, this is a culture where a girl wouldn't even do anything athletic, not even go to the gym, right? So even if she wants, a lot of the people show up for self-defense perspective. It's not for the culture of the art. And sadly, in the culture, a lot of the girls get, harassed, and they go through a lot, right? So they want to train. They want to know that I could defend myself, I could take care of myself, and that on. So they'll show up, they see it, they do some research for jiu-jitsu. I could choke the guy if he does that, I could twist his arm, right? But the environment, it's like, it's a different culture, right? So we really had a very small number. But those who stuck around for that program, I think, are today's leaders in the all women's only program. We have, when we advertise this at the moment, we have some classes that are kind of mixed. We got male trainers, okay? And then we have the normal all guys class, and then we have a complete all females program where the trainer is female, where the young lady doesn't have to worry about her hijab and about what to wear. She could just be herself, dress in anything. And everything from the outdoor, they lock from the, from the gates. No window to see through, nothing. It's a complete women's zone only, right? As soon as we started that, at the moment we have more than 3 Muay Thai classes and 2 Jiu-Jitsu classes of that. 70% of the work is the women's only. These classes get full, the mat cannot take, we have to close, and then we decide to make a new class just for our new clients. It's became the main business right now. And it's just really cool. One of the good news off of that was Khartoum Open 2021 that we just did in March. And again, we did it open. It was open for the public. So guys were there, everybody was training at the same time. So 90% of the girls only program did not participate. They were there, but they didn't participate because of the same reason. But that 10% that did, everyone was impressed. People enjoyed it, and I could see the technique. So it really gave me a lot of comfort. I was a lot worried in the beginning about, how would it later on turn out. You don't want to do a program and spend 2 years, and these girls are showing up to at least do some self-defense, right? And then they waste a whole year or 2 years and they really don't know anything. They can't even finish a Kimura, right? So I was worried, but how would I know? But at least that 10% that had no problem participating gave a good sign that we're doing the right thing, and we're doing good. So part of the goals in the future, hopefully, focusing more, creating more leadership within the girls programs for those who don't have a problem training, have training under me and so on, and focusing more on them, and not just becoming good jiu-jitsu individuals, but becoming good instructors as well, and learning good ways to pass the knowledge to these individuals, and definitely creating my next event eventually in the near future of all girls event, hopefully, that I don't even have to be there, and these individuals can experience that feeling of competing and enjoying that jiu-jitsu. And yeah,